Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Musoff, and we are going to get started talking about polynomial operations today. Alright, now there are 4 operations that we could do with anything, including polynomials, and that would be adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Alright, today we are going to focus on those first 2, which are adding and subtracting. Okay, now, when it comes to adding and subtracting polynomials, the big thing we're trying to focus on is to get rid of the parentheses so that we can just combine like terms. So I'm going to write that down. Get rid of parentheses and combine like terms. Now, usually in order to do step 1, in order to get rid of parentheses, we need to distribute whatever number is right in front of the parentheses. So here, since you don't see a number, it's like a positive 1. So if I had to distribute, that positive 1, anything times positive 1 just stays the same. So that'll just stay 8x squared, and it'll stay minus 3. But now the parentheses are gone, which makes it easier to do the second step. Okay, same thing over here. So that's like a plus 1. I'm going to distribute a positive 1. And again, that will stay the same. So 1 times 2x squared is still 2x squared. And 1 times 1 is still 1. Okay, now that I've gotten rid of the parentheses, we're just combining like terms. So I'm going to find my like terms, so that would be anything with an x squared. And I'm going to add them together. So remember, to do that, we add the coefficients. 8 plus 2 is 10. And you keep the like term part, the x squared part, the same. So you don't change the exponent. Right, and then same thing for the number, minus 3 plus 1. I can add those together. And that'll be minus 2. And that's it. That's adding. Alright, let's try it again with a few more. So again, same process. We want to get rid of the parentheses, and then we are able to combine like terms. Well, to get rid of these parentheses, I have to imagine that there's a number in front of them so I can distribute. So in these cases, again, it'll be a positive 1. When you don't see any number there, we know that it's really a positive 1. Alright, so I'll distribute a positive 1. That will stay the same. 2x squared plus x minus 5. And same thing on the second one. Distribute the positive 1. So that will turn into just x squared still, plus x plus 6. And now I can start combining like terms. So again, I'm going to find my like terms and add them together. Now remember, this plus x squared, that's like plus 1x squared. So 2 plus 1, that's 3. So that'll be 3x squared. Alright, keep going. I have a plus 1x and another plus 1x. So 1 plus 1, that'll give me plus 2x. And then my last one, minus 5 plus 6, that'll give me plus 1. And there's my answer. Alright, so of the 2, adding and subtracting, adding should be a little bit easier because there's always just these positive 1s that we're distributing. Okay, subtracting, on the other hand, is going to be just an extra step harder. So with the first piece, remember, we're still same 2 steps. Get rid of parentheses and combine like terms. And with the first set of parentheses, there's still nothing in front of it, so we can still think of that as a positive 1. Right, that we're going to distribute, and that leaves it the same. So 3x to the third plus 2x squared minus 1. But now when it's subtraction, what that's really saying is instead of just a positive 1 in front, now it's a negative 1. So we're going to really change it to a negative 1 by putting a plus in front of it. And that way I can distribute the full negative 1 into that second set of parentheses. Now distributing a negative 1 does change it. It makes each number opposite. So a negative 1 times x cubed will be negative 1x cubed. Negative 1 times negative 3x squared will turn positive 3x squared. And negative 1 times negative 5 will turn positive 5. Alright, so all of these pieces in that second parentheses just become opposite when we subtract. And then it's still just about combining like terms. So 3x cubed minus 1x cubed, that'll be 2x cubed. I have a plus 2x squared and a plus 3x squared, so plus 5x squared. And then last one's minus 1 and plus 5, so that's plus 4. Alright, so you see subtracting just has this extra piece here where you have to distribute a negative 1. So let's practice it one more time with example D. Okay, so once again, this first one, to get rid of the parentheses, is just like a positive 1 there. So to distribute that is no problem, because it's just going to stay the same. 5x to the 4th minus x cubed plus 8. But the second one over here, because it's a minus, that's like a minus 1. So in order to distribute it, I'm going to change it to a plus, so it's not subtraction anymore. And now I just distribute the minus 1. So negative 1 here, negative 1 there, negative 1 there. And that just makes everything opposite. So negative 3x to the 4th, negative 7x squared, and positive 10. And then once again, I can just combine like terms. So I'll find all my like terms. Careful with those negatives, right? A lot of times we forget to keep them with the number. They are part of their number. So 5x to the 4th minus 3x to the 4th, that'll be 2x to the 4th. A negative x squared, remember that's like a negative 1x, cubed. Negative 1x cubed. Looks like that's the only one of its kind, so I'll just bring it right down, negative 1x cubed. Or just negative x cubed, that's fine too. I have a negative x squared. I'm trying to stay in order, so that's why I kind of jumped ahead. I like to go biggest exponent to smallest. So negative 7x squared, that's by itself also. And then the last one's the plus 8 and the plus 10. Those are like terms, so I'm going to add those together. And there's my final answer. Alright, so just a quick summary. The main thing to remember are these two steps right here. Alright, get rid of your parentheses and then combine like terms. Just be careful, because with subtraction, when you know you have to subtract, you know that you're going to be distributing a negative 1. So don't forget to do that, because that's the most common mistake. Alright, if you have any questions, make sure you write them down. Ask your teacher when you get to class. Otherwise, have a great day.